Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party review. Thanks to the team at Icon Store. Today we're taking a look at Toyworld's Scourge Nemesis Prime Decal. This is of course the Black Freedom Leader. Lovely look at the sleeve here. We've got Cybertron on the front there. We've got lovely pattern going around. And then the Commander of Tactical Operations on there. I love these kind of Cybertronian buildings there. And could that be Unicron about to eat the planet? It does look like it. I love this tacticswaistcoat.com. New universe, new legend. Removing the sleeve, we've got some really nice artwork on there. Spinning the box round, almost very kind of 3A-ish. Looking really good. And here we have him out of his box. I'm displaying him with his gun. I've got a blast effect attached as well. I've never known a figure to have so many accessories. Now I've watched a few people's different reviews on the original red version of Mr. Tactical Waistcoat there. And this one does come with a rather large selection, including like the USB cable and the plug and stuff like that. We've got loads of batteries. We've got various different heads with this guy as well. We've got different colours to put on his shield. We've got a red and a purple. We've got the Cybertronian style tyres. We've got the Cybertronian smokestacks come as standard, but we can switch those out for Earth tyres and Earth smokestacks. There's lots of different options. We've got different LED colours in the two different guns. One sports kind of a reddy colour and the other one sports almost like a whitey purple. We have so many different pieces, but this is by far the most detailed one of these that I've had to date. Don't get me wrong, I've got some really good versions of this character. Fire Scorpion I think still feels more solid in hand, but this guy definitely looks better. He's got more heft to him, but there's just something going on with that chest section where it all just wants to pop out. I do have to still put the windscreen wipers on. I still got to take those shield plastic seams off that chest. Just a protection strip on there at the moment. He is a gorgeous looking figure. I can see what all the hype is about. He really is a masterpiece to look at. Toyworld are absolutely killing it with their movie bots. I love what they're doing with their kind of World War II style Seekers as well. Really making me want those. But this is sensational. Sculpt wise is amazing. I know they've just done their Transformers Age of Extinction, or was it the last note? One of the two. They're primed for that, and he looks just as good as this. I just need to save because there's so many amazing pieces coming out, both third party and official. It's a great time to be a fan, but a poor time to be a fan's wallet. So while I've got it here, just hold the button and that's it. It's got a nice little blast effect on there. You don't necessarily need it, but I like the fact that we have them on these guns. Obviously I've got that in red and in purple to go with this gun. See? What do we think? I think purple goes better with the Nemesis Prime. We got this huge kind of crate which I am going to use to store everything in. Lovely gunmetal paint scheme on there. It just lifts up and we can put everything in there. And I mean, we need storage for all of his gear because he comes with loads. Right, so before we look at Prime, let's see what he comes with. He comes with the USB cable. Comes with a VIP Toyworld scan. We have a baggie with those wipers and the little plugs in there, which I still need to pop in. We get a packet of the batteries. We have a baggie filled with the kind of earth forms of the smokestacks, just slightly different sculpting and detailing on there, kind of more true to his earthbound form. And we get tyres, we get all of these, all kind of weathered and worn, very kind of earthbound in comparison to these really nice slicks that he's got on there. At the moment we get a plug for the USB. We get this giant shield axe that splits into 2 axes, but it can be mounted as a large Energon shield, just mounts on his arm. But we get these wraps in this purple, and we also get them in the Nemesis red as well. Not sure which colour I like the best. I think I prefer the purple. Get a baggie filled with toe hitches. There's 2 toe hitches in there, and we've also got 2 kind of more static sculpted hands. If you're not a fan of the articulated hands, the static ones do grip the guns better, in my opinion. Now we have this head as standard. We then get this face with the purple eyes. And I actually really like it. These are all different. This has kind of got a much more open brow on it, bringing in this version. See, it's much more kind of opened. I don't think this is the one that doesn't have batteries. I couldn't get the top off this one, so maybe this is designed just not to have batteries. It does have more range on this neck pivot as well. So yeah, I reckon there's the battery pack in there. So this one doesn't have the batteries. Really nice sculpt though. And then we get this one, which could be my favourite, which sports the red eyes. But that being said, if I'm going the purple route, then maybe I need to keep the purple. Oh, hard decisions. I mean, the head he's got on there at the moment is good. It's just really nice to have all of these really nice options. I mean, to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with the head on there. Just press his mask and we get the red lights up, and it's so lethargic. My wife wanted to do this, but I can't wait. Oh. It's lethargic, isn't it? I like doing it with the phone covers as well when you get a new phone. Come on. Oh. But really am loving the detail on these. They're incredible. This is what kind of separates it from the others. Fire Scorpion is a really good solid figure, and I think is definitely the best of the rest. But sculpt wise, Toyworld are basically in a league of their own with this one. I mean, this is all die cast. Everything is compacted in there. I just love the different uses of colour. We've got these really kind of dirty, sandy, slick tyres on there. Got so much going for him. It does hold the axes, not overly well. The hands grip quite nicely. I've got quite nice tight joints on my hands. I know T-Man had trouble with his. I think the hands just really didn't grip as they should do, but it's not a bad looking piece. Right, before we get him transformed up into his vehicle, which I've been dreading. I have been putting this off. No, I haven't been putting it off. It's just I've been overworked and underpaid. Before we get into the transformation, I would like just to compare this to some of the other offerings on the market, all of which are available at the Icon store, might I add. But let's just see how he fares with his competition. Now, it's not until you get him alongside the likes of Fire Scorpion and 3A that you realise what an amazing job Toyworld did. I mean, my wife couldn't tell the difference between Toyworld and 3A. And when I told her that the Toyworld version actually transforms as well, that's where she didn't believe me. They did an amazing job at mimicking the actual sculpt of the movie product. I mean, that is insanely good, isn't it? And height, the build. Yes, the transformation is nightmarish. But look at just how good they look together. We've got slightly wider and longer thigh sections, but we do have all of the same hip skirts. We have all of that detailing on the inner arm. The sculpt is sensational. We look at the tops of the figure. We've got, yes, we've got more depth, but it's not huge. It's still very, very likable, very feasible. I mean, in comparison to Fire Scorpion, who he does look way more toy-like in comparison, and he was definitely, in my opinion, the best of the bunch of the budget versions, except for mine had those really shoddy ankles where he would not stand up. Toyworld definitely wins this leaps and bounds in terms of accuracy. When we compare him to the Black Mamba Dark Knight, yeah, you can see the differences there, don't you? Yes, Black Mamba went with the kind of the more scale, and that bigger is better, but Toyworld, just that slim, energetic, kind of agile look to Prime, really think that is all in kind of a league of its own. Sensational. But enough of me gushing over this sculpt. I mean, just look. Got a lot going on in here, haven't we? But I don't know. I really, really like it. There's no matrix and that in there, is there? Just, I don't want to get it all out because it's all going to come and sit out of position, but really gorgeous looking piece. Quickly cover his articulation. The head can look up and down. Really nice range on that. I love the fact that the mask is articulated as well. That's sensational. So you can literally make it look like he's talking. Sideways action there. We don't really have any head pivot. We have these really gorgeous butterfly joints on the arms. They come up as well. And then we've got an additional joint on top of there as well. Really stiff, but really good amount of range. We've got that rotation on the upper bicep. We've got not one, but two bends on the elbow, bringing it right the way up. We've got fully articulated hands with 2 points of articulation on each finger. We have this kind of upper abdominal movement. It's part of the transformation, but we do have exposure of these metal plates, which does imply that it's part of the abdominal crunch. And we have this crunching section forwards, where the hip skirts go up and over the thigh. It's not to the extent of Toyworld or even to the extent of Fire Scorpion. He's pretty decently articulated, but this guy definitely feels the best in hand. Thighs can come all the way forwards. Such a huge chunk here. Out to the side, really squeaky joint on there though. Look at that. We do have a double jointed bend on those legs. Not the most attractive of knee joints, but definitely does what we need it to do. And come down to the feet. We can go tilting up and down, left and right. Love the fact we've got some rotation left and right on them as well. And then there's an independent toe to the heel. So really jam-packed, this guy, with articulation. Doesn't all necessarily work as I'd like it to, but he's a very, very stable figure. When you get him planted in his pose, he will stay in that pose. That's something that I really like about this guy in comparison to the likes of Fire Scorpion or even the Black Mamba versions, where the feet just don't really plant themselves when displaying them. Right, to get him transformed up, please bear with me, I'll try and make this as smooth as I can. You want to remove this piece and remove this piece, they're going to come down, and his butt flap panel is actually going to drop, exposing his metallic buttocks. Now if you have him transformed up in his Earth mode, which I believe the version 1 of this comes as standard, there's these flaps inside here. they are out and they sit over here. So it would be at this point that you pop the flaps up and have them sat upwards there, but this comes packed in his Cybertronian mode, where this is all compacted into the backpack. Because at this point, do you want to bend his elbow and you want to bring this piece down like so, and that's going to come and sit on the bottom of the hand. The torso should, he says, then lift up and back. We have these sections here. This is going to come up like so. This will then rotate to the front. Try and do this with both hands. Let's bring this up, and there's another piece behind it. It's going to come up as well. Come on. Oop. This is going to come down. This just lifts up and over this latch here. This piece comes all the way up to the top. And then open up his chest. This prime hinge here is going to rock down. Should then allow this to open up fully, and we get to play a little bit of Tetris here. This should come out and it goes around. Come on, there we go. And as we bring this in, slide the head forwards so that there's enough room to rotate this all the way around on the inside, so that the Prime's head is now upside down, and this is going to form the front of the cab. And just rotate this front panel down, and the idea is these bits are meant to sit behind like this and like this. Right, it's starting to come together a little bit. They come round to this back piece, and these pieces here are meant to lift up. They're kind of latched in. You just need to unpeg them, and these are going to come up and giving it a little tug. This should, he says, come clear of this back panel piece. We then have this panel in here. This is going to lift up. These pieces here will now fold into that void and fold into that void, and this is going to compress like that. And we just need to make sure that this hinge here is up just enough so that these will be able to close back around from the front of the cab. We have this piece here that's going to bring out. This comes up like so, and then that's going to come all the way back in like that. This tab's going to come up. This will rotate around. This is a fun piece. This black panel here needs to go under that lip like so. At the same time though, this arm needs to bend inwards, and this is going to tuck into this void here. A bit of Jenga going on here. There we go. That's in, and then we just need to make sure that this tab slides under that panel like so, so everything is in like this. We can then straighten up this front piece again. It's just so many panels. We've got this one here, it's going to come down. We've got this one here, which is going to come across, and that needs to tuck into here as well. Let's just open up these roof panels. I think these are what's causing the problems, like so. These are these hinges that I was talking about, that you have out in here's robot mode if you want to have it earthbound. These are going to fold out and form the window panels. That's going to come down. This one's going to fold out, form the window panel. That'll come down. This should, he says, rotate. Make sure we slide this panel out. This one can then come down. This one comes over without rocking on that double hinge, and this is going to slide under, he says. Come on. Let's slide you under. There we go. And that's gonna dig under. What a nightmare. Right, there's this piece here. That's gonna come down like so. This is gonna slide in next to this piece here. This is gonna come over. And there's a tab just here at the top where this tab's in. This is gonna flip and turn in like so. And then this one is going to come up on this double hinge, in. It's going to push in like so, and then bring this piece down around it. So at the moment we have something that looks like this. I want to rotate the feet around, bring the toes up, over, and bend them. So again with this side, bring the foot up and around, bend that up, down, and around. You can come to the inside, and these are going to collapse inwards like so. So remove, bend, and collapse that piece. And tab this piece here, rotate this around, and this front panel is going to slide. So we have this space here. The tank section just pops up as well, allowing this to rotate all the way around. I should kind of just tuck down in there like so. He says, sit, stay. This is going to come in, and that's going to tuck down on the inside of this leg, just inside this panel here. And then there's this tab piece that you want to bring outwards. Now let's do that with both of the legs. These just peg in together. This is hidden inside here. You just need to make sure that you push these hip skirts into the legs, flip this panel down. This then allows us to open this. There's enough clearance to open this up, bring this back up, and there's a tab just on that hip skirt piece, which should, he says, line up. And tab in. We then have two tabs on the inside here. This should, he says, line up and tab. He says, come on. There we go. No, not going to line up. There. Stay. There we go. This then pulls down, sits there like this. If these were the big smokestacks, you could push them up through here and they'd come up to the top if they were the Earth style. But as they are the Cybertronian ones, you just need to straighten up this piece here. And that I believe is now truck mode. What a fiddly truck. But we got there in the end. Bringing in the likes of the MP10, there's a real nice amount of mass shifting involved with Toyworlds. It really does kind of fold up and compress. It's not the easiest of transformations though. And the instructions are bright, but not overly revealing. But I like how that changed up. But yeah, of course you can change up these wheels. We can have the additional panels put on. It's entirely up to the user. But all in all, I think it looks really nice in both modes. Transformation from A to B, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I've tried to capture that as best as I can on my video. If it's not good enough for you, then there are some really great reviews out there of the original Toyworld Prime, done by the likes of T-Man and MGO. They've done some really good reviews on that, but hopefully that step-by-step should be enough for you. It's just the resistances and tolerances are not superb on this figure. You have to really kind of tuck and bend and twist things. That doesn't feel overly natural, but I'm not too sure that many of you will be transforming this guy up a great deal. I kind of put him in the same sort of leagues as the Devil Savior stuff. Like, transform it, get it in whichever mode you want to keep it in, and just keep it like that. Huge thank you to Icon Store again for getting this shipped out to me. I've included a link in the description below where this can be purchased. And until next time, from myself and the rest of the Collectables household, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.